one and all to the K.O.E. Nation for a very special spirits review. We've got a couple of exclusives from Texas here up in Nebraska, and I am really thrilled and excited to give them a try. Tony, as the folks at home might know, you and I are a bit of a fan of the TX brand.
Yes.
We love their whiskey.
Yes.
We've tried their bourbon, great stuff, and now they've got finished bourbons. And I am such a fanboy for this distillery that I was like, I gotta get my hands on the port and the sherry finish, and they are here, folks. Like Tony had to basically utilize some kinfolk that lived in Texas that happened to be coming up, and here it is. So we've got Texas straight bourbon whiskey finished in TX sherry casks, Pedro Jimenez. Proud of our roots, and then it goes into the taste and such. I don't want to describe the tastes yet. That's what you come here for. And then we'll read it afterwards, see how we do. But let's get into this. I have been waiting for this since I first heard about it.
Phil's very excited. This is Phil K.O.E. of the K.O.E. Nation.
Yes, sorry. I'm just gushing over this. Firestone and Robertson Distillery. Yes, I'm Phil K.O.E., the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil K.O.E. Thanks for joining us. And I am joined here by my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only,
the blend master, Tony fucking G. Like, share, subscribe, folks. Here we are. Oh boy, baby.
Here we go.
We are doing.
Oh wow,
that was tight.
Yeah, that
Woo!
one. It's well sealed. But now, funny enough,
hang on. One Hulk Hogan TX whiskey, sherry finish, and port finish.
Yes.
God.
Yes, I'm just really excited about this one because I'm a huge fan
excited.
of this distillery. Now, I actually did some research.
Yes.
The tops that are on each bottle, it's leather and it's boot leather. It's actual boot leather from a boot company in Texas. The little symbol that they have over the Firestone and Robertson distillery logo there is actually the way that they stitch cowboy boots.
Yes.
So it's all kind of an homage to that, and I really do like it. And also the fact that, wow, this is leather right here.
Yeah.
Huh.
No, the presentation alone
And this is what I think Tony's gonna like.
Top shelf. No.
I am a lover of sherried malts, sherried whiskeys. This is one of the few sherried non-single malts that we've had, other than Bushmills Black, which is
right. And you poured the sherry.
Yep. Now this is the port. There we go. That was a good one.
Very
I like their black synthetic corks.
Now,
it's just a little different thing that distincts them in the market.
Does this compare to the bottling of the bourbon or the blend?
Well, funny you should mention that, Tony, because if we feel the need to get there, I do happen to have a bottle of their bourbon right here, which I think would be the most apropos. TX.
Well, let me get that.
In case we need it. I don't know if we will, but we'll see how the night goes, folks. But yes, we were introduced to this distillery with this amazing product, the TX blended whiskey, among one of the finest whiskeys in all God's creation. And we were so lucky to get our hands on some, and I'm just gonna, oh, just the nose is just like, so if these finished products can even get close to their blended, I think they should just finish their blended whiskey and stuff. But that's, you know, I'm not gonna tell you how to run your business, but I am really looking forward to this. So, all right, this is the sherry, is in your Glencairn and in my kind of, I can't believe it's not Glencairn. Okay. So let's see how that goes.
TX sherry cask finish. Oh my God.
Quite a bit of sherry in there because you can see the color difference, folks. I'm gonna have to show you here. It's quite pronounced between the two products, as you can see.
It is significantly darker.
It's not just my suit collar there. It's not just
no, because you can specifically look at the blended and see how clear that is. But
yes,
wow.
I'm wondering how long they left it in there, because usually you just leave whiskeys and bourbons and a sherry for a few months, but
Wow.
this is...
Okay, so when we first saw this,
They don't specifically call it, it's bourbon whiskey finished in. So like,
they do specifically call this bourbon.
yes, but they're not... They have to put that finished, otherwise they can't call it straight bourbon.
So we, I believe, first saw this offering, I'm gonna say 8 to 9 months ago. Am I correct?
Yeah, online is where we were first exposed to
We
it.
went to Houston, Texas. We enjoyed this. We also got the bourbon. We've sampled both. But we're also such big fans of Scotch and the different finishes that it brings that sherry cask finish and port cask finish are so intriguing that this was just way too tempting to pass up on.
Yeah.
Now we have it, and we're here.
Yeah, so...
Oh my God.
Let's give it a shot, T.
This is the sherry.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that sure doesn't suck.
I was about to say,
Wow.
excuse me, their bourbon was always a little grain forward
Wow.
and lacked that sweetness. And this really fills in those gaps of the sweetness on the profile.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that is good stuff. And I
Wow.
think, I'm sure, I'm almost certain, everybody that they knew was telling them, you're leaving it in the sherry too long. But no, you get actually a pretty pronounced cherries. Don't you?
Yes. I hate to overstep my boundaries a little bit, but loose cough drops.
I was about to say, there is that thick coating.
Cherry candy.
Yeah, candied cherry that's coating the back. Like, yep. So we both had cherry, but different types. Because honestly, I'm more thinking of like cherry Coca-Cola or cherry Dr. Pepper, like
Okay.
just that cherry flavoring
No.
on the
That
back.
makes perfect sense. I love it. It's definitely a cherry flavor, but what is the ABV on this?
Well, let's find out, sir. 50.8%, so 101.6 proof.
Wow.
So quite high and does not drink like that at all.
No.
Drinks like a 93 to 85. So
Yeah.
it's
Wow.
that one.
That hides
Now,
the
as
fruit.
much as I hate
Okay.
to say, that would mix well. That would mix well with a cola or what have you. Now we're just going to grade
Wow.
this on. Well, let's grade it as just a bourbon for now, which is.
Okay.
Honestly, I like this more than their standard bourbon. Okay.
I would agree with that.
Their bourbon, good stuff, but like I said, for bourbon, you're always expecting a little more. What's the word I'm looking for? You're always looking for a little more caramel, a little more vanilla, a little more. This one's very.
You
grain
want
forward.
some standout qualities. This kind of does. This is kind of.
This finishes it in the way it needed.
Yeah.
So this is properly finished.
Yeah, this is exactly where you want to be. Like the bourbon specifically, like it's really nice. But all the Texans that I have talked to in my life, after Phil picked up the TX bourbon, I said, before we even sampled it, what do you think about the TX bourbon? They said, it's just slightly disappointing. Why is that? Because
the TX
it's
whiskey's
just
so good.
missing one thing. What could that be?
That's sweet.
Perhaps it's the finishing.
Yep.
Maybe they have finally found it.
Now I'm quite curious. What the port? I know this is the one you're more looking forward to than anything, because Tony tends to like port finishing a lot more than I do. I'm a sucker for sherry. Tony is
And that's
quite.
this one, correct?
Yep, that's in the Glencairn or in the Copita nosing glass. So let's take it to the nose.
Oh, that's deep. Oh, that's deep. Wow.
I feel like it wants to smell like chocolate, but it doesn't quite. I'm getting, now shockingly, I'm getting this from a fortified wine. Shockingly, I'm getting a bit of grape.
Really?
I know.
Wow.
I know, crazy. Now, being a wine lover, that's all the better. Well, Tony.
Wow. That's amazing. Nope.
Cinnamon stick. Like, not like over the top like food cinnamon, but like if you're smelling Christmas cinnamon sticks that are left out to give ambient smell from a distance.
I'm just getting red grape and just bourbon spice.
We will have to see, folks. So, T, let's see what the palate unveils.
Wow.
A lot more chocolatey coffee comes through on the palate.
So much bite.
There is some bite.
The bite.
The port has a lot more bite than the sherry. I'm gonna guess it's the same ABV. Yep, same ABV, but more bite to it. But there's also a coffee chocolate. Now here's the thing, Tony. This one, the sherry, you can mix with a cola. This one over here, this port, that would make for a, well, it wouldn't be Irish, but it'd make for a good Irish coffee. A bourbon coffee, if you will.
I don't think that's in the same wheelhouse as an Irish coffee, but
no, but it would work in a coffee cocktail.
Yeah.
So, that is quite fascinating.
Okay.
Now, what did you grade this as a bourbon? We never did quite get there.
The sherry cask as a bourbon.
Tough, isn't it? 'Cause it's not quite true to bourbon, but it's it's improved over TX whiskey or TX bourbon.
It does not remind me of a bourbon at all, and I'm going to say, God, that is very good. 3.5 as a bourbon.
I'm gonna be more generous than you, but only just, and give it 3.75 as a bourbon.
Okay.
Because it's versatile. Now, keep your eyes right here for the full in-depth reviews of each of these coming up. But now, this port. How do you grade TX Port Finished Whiskey? Oh, and tawny port casks of all things. That sweet, rich, luscious port. So that's why a lot of that's coming through, because there's different types of port, and tawny is one of the better.
What scale are we on?
Bourbon.
4.
Wow. I'm gonna stick with 3.75.
No.
Okay, that's
I'm gonna
fair.
go 4.
I'm saying they're both comparable, but very different in their own ways.
I honest to God expected the sherry to blow the port completely out of the water, but there is something about the fine fruitiness in the port that really
comes through in the
this
nose.
One home. Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is amazing. This
So,
is really
now
nice.
Tony, both these bottles cost about $65.
Yeah.
So, if you could only, well, first of all, if you could, would you pick up one of these bottles? And if you could only pick up one, which one would it be?
I would definitely pick up a bottle because the TX brand has really just surprised me as far as being a really drinkable whiskey. The blended is so fucking good, so affordable. The bourbon, you know what? Texans be damned. I think the bourbon is actually pretty damn nice.
It's one that I would love to see them come out with some age statements on their bourbon, like a 6, an 8, and a 10 year would be really good. It would kind of get rid of that graininess.
Right, and they're slowly doing that. And I think just slightly important.
Now, Tony, was this even a question? You knew. I was gonna lean towards the sherry.
Yeah, I figured.
Well,
I expected to go to the sherry as well, but no,
I'm a sucker for sherry. What can I say? Yep, that's...
There you go.
You say Portato, I say Sherrado. Hey, we got there. So, folks, this is quite the little introduction to TX's Finished Whiskeys. Do it, T.
Yeah.
Do it. The blend master must blend. I'm sure that's going to be awful. I'm sure nobody's going to like it.
One of my favorite...
I'm joining
one of my favorite 50-50 blends. Anybody who's got about $50 to just throw away, like Scotch, Glenmorangie, Sherry cask, Port cask. Go ahead, throw that in a cup. Lovely. And here we are going to do it with a Texas exclusive TX Bourbon Sherry 50-50 blend.
Oh my. That's exceptional. That's
God.
And he's not just saying
Woo!
that cuts a lot of the heat, cuts a lot of the heat out, enhances all of the sweet. TX.
Oh, that is a just
You're welcome.
Sugar
Just-
waterfall. Oh.
Just blend that 50-50 blend. Introduce it to some blind taste tests.
Oh, the fact that you were just
welcome.
super eager to do that. You're like, oh, it's so good. Yeah, it's fucking amazing. Oh my god.
Sometimes I kind of joke that he's just saying that, but this time, no.
No.
That is a very good blend.
Oh my god. Woo!
Yeah.
That's nice. Again, this is 43% ABV.
A little higher than that, T. This is 50.8 ABV.
Oh, okay.
101.6 proof.
Okay.
So
no, this is beautiful. There's a lot of caramel and there's a lot of
fruitiness, a lot of just yeah.
Mm.
That covers up all the graininess perfectly.
It
I
does.
am a very big fan of this.
Wow.
So, Blend Master, before I send them off, any last things you'd like to say?
I'm gonna give that an A. Hang on. 1 second. Sorry.
Blend Master must make a second grade.
I'm gonna give that a B plus.
B plus. All right. You know, I'm going to give it an A minus. I really like this particular blend of the Blend Master, but folks, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for joining us for our contrast and comparison of TX, Sherry Cask, and Port Cask. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil K.O.E., signing off and handing it off to my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only,
the non-coffee friendly Tony fucking G. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks for joining us, folks, and stay right here for the Sweet 16 Bourbon Tournament.